So I'm gonna go over, and the reason when I taught and anytime I teach, just so you guys know my story, what I'm doing, what I do, I've been in sales for roughly about 15 years now. I've been doing direct sales, door to door, for the last 10 years or so. So I taught a lot of people how to sell, and I do the same thing. I sell myself. I sell door to door, and I train teams, and I open markets. Been doing it for a long while. And what I'm gonna have you guys go over, I'm gonna show you a training that I do for my guys door to door. And I'm going to show you how these are principles that you guys can use, that not you, we can use in our business, in IML. So, because again, it's just a principle. It's understanding that as a principle, it can be used in anything, okay? I like to think it as, truth. Truth is a stubborn thing. It doesn't change. It is the truth, and people have their own truths if they want to make it up, but truth is truth, and it is what it is. You can't change it, okay? And these principles are principles that you can use in life. So I'll tell you a story. When I first started in sales, my mentor, my trainer, good friend I grew up with in Puerto Rico, his name is Jeffrey Mendez. He's now the VP of Sales at Vivint, one of the coolest guys that you would ever meet when it comes to understanding the way he carries himself and just the money he makes. He's a great, great dude. He took me out to sell, and he showed me this right here, the sales cycle. So when it comes to sales cycle, it follows an order. And if you guys have been in the training that Christian did, when it comes to the steps that you take in order to present the opportunity to your friends or family or what have you, understanding that these are steps, he follows these steps. And the first one, and he talks about prospecting, okay? If the sales cycle takes an order: prospecting, qualifying, presenting, overcoming the objection, and then closing. And the training that Chris did, he goes over this, but we're going to go step by step. Today we're going to go over prospecting. And my mentor, when he was training me, he said, Heriberto, the one thing that most salespeople do that separates a good salesperson from an outstanding salesperson is a person that doesn't cheat the prospect. Most of us want to jump and get so excited about the opportunity, what we have, that we jump straight to like showing up and throwing up and just telling people what we're doing, presenting before we prospect, before we find the people that we really want to talk to. So you never, ever cheat the prospect. Don't cheat the prospect. Make sure that when you're prospecting, you prospect correctly. And in the business we're in, we need to understand how to do it. Okay? So this right here is from a book, great book, Sales EQ. And so I'll read it to you. Ultra high performers are fanatical prospectors, and developing and maintaining a fanatical attitude towards prospecting is the key to high level of sales. To avoid the possibility of an empty pipeline, which would lead them to engage in questionable and desperate sales practices, ultra high performers make daily prospecting a priority. For average salespeople, prospecting is not a priority, and it's random and irregular at best. Therefore, don't cheat the prospect. If you want a book about on how to sell pretty much anything, Sales EQ goes over the psychology and the levels of different sales techniques and sales things, sales mentality that you should have. Great book. But the first chapter is, out of all things, prospecting. Prospecting, you need to be fanatical about it. You have to be fanatical, and you need to pay attention. Prospecting is all about observing. If you guys have been around, it's fun to watch you. I've done this so long. When I see somebody that's good at what they do, is exciting for me. It's fun to watch. And those of you guys that were in Miami, a lot of people kept asking me, "What are you doing? You're not joining this. You haven't joined. And like I always told, I was telling the guys, well, I'm just observing. I'm watching. I'm paying attention to what people are doing, and I paid attention. If you guys have been around Christian, any single person that Christian talks to on a daily, any stranger, all the time, maybe you guys will give me that answer. What does he do pretty much within the first 2 minutes of meeting the person? What does Christian do? Right away. There's his social media. He's like, you know what? Let me follow you on Insta, and you follow me, so you can see. Why do you think Christian does that?
To pique interest.
To pique interest of what?
What he does for a living, how he lives.
The lifestyle. The lifestyle. So what? Again, he's prospecting for people that will watch and see what he does and how he lives. Then he can pitch them. Really, I mean, I was on I saw Christian do it at least 4 times with me. And he just does it. It's just now part of just his daily. He just does it on a daily all the time. He did it with the Uber driver. Just within 2 minutes, like it was like, let me follow you. Here you go. Boom, done. What he's doing is sharing a lifestyle and a vision so he can see if that person is a good prospect. Because really for this business, everybody is a prospect. And understanding who your prospect is, who proctors are, is the number one thing. But you need to be fanatical. What's the number that you guys have pitched when it comes to how many people on a daily you should contact? A minimum. What's the number?
Mine's 30.
Yours is 30. What is the minimum? What is the one that you guys were given as a minimum?
I think it was 10, 3 to 5 or 10.
Yep, 10 is the number. 10 people that you should contact on a daily and share what you're doing or prospect, right? Somehow, somewhere, you're going to reach out and prospect those individuals. So that's the number one thing. And that's, again, you have to be fanatical about this step. Don't ever cheat the prospect. So the mentality. So let's talk about this one. This one, when it comes to knocking doors, staying put is key. At a high level, high level salespeople, when they stay in an area, they create more momentum. They learn more about their area. They learn more about the whole, and they produce more installs or sales. The longer you can stay in your area, the better it can get. Your pitch adapts to the characteristics of the neighborhood. You learn more about the neighborhoods and where you're at, moving yourself through the sale. Now, how does that apply to what we do? Staying put. When it comes to the multi-level marketing, the sales part of what we do, the marketing part of what we do, staying in an area is important. Now, you guys have your circle. You guys have your warm circles and your cold circles. And those circles usually are close to you in your vicinity, okay? Your neighbors, your friends, your family, your schoolmates, anybody around you, they usually, they're in the same state, they speak the same, they sound the same, they eat the same kind of foods. It's all the same people you usually are with. That's what you want to start with. Because if you understand them, you can speak their language. You can speak the way that they are. That you understand culture. You understand that. And when you're growing and opening markets, you want to tap into the local people. That's why I'm working with Kristen, because I know my people. I know my Puerto Rican people. I have my contacts there. I'm leveraging him as my contact in the island, but we're looking for locals, people that are from there, from my island. I am talking to my friends. I am presenting this and looking at the people that I know that I relate to, people that I love, people that I care for, people that I understand. With this, you need to make a list and know that the people that you're going to be around and the people you want in your team. So it's who's going to be in your bus? Who are you going to put in the bus with you? Because that's going to determine what your organization, what kind of organization you're going to have, and what kind of leaders you're going to grow within your organization. Now, the reason for that is because you create momentum. Because once you're in, you get to understand you're not going to do drive-by setups, drive-by signups. You need to create the momentum when you sign somebody up. You need to follow up. You need to stay with them. You have to stay put. You need to see them. And that's the reason why having people close to you helps in business, because that way you create that relationship. So it builds momentum. It sees you. The people see you working around. They see what the heck you're doing. You help. You create a pitch. There's a different pitch in the way you're presenting it, because really it will change from side to side depending on where you're at in my business, but in this business as well. You're not going to pitch somebody with like a PhD in finance the same as you would pitch a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid. In this business, you're not going to pitch them that way. It's a different it's a much more sophisticated, but you still have to keep it simple. So understanding who your prospects are will determine how you're going to present the opportunity and present the idea to them. So, and it also helps you stay and build the momentum in there, warming your area up, warming your neighborhood, your friends, your family, your circle. They get warm to it. They see you. They're connected. They usually are going to be in your social media. They're all going to start talking. They're going to be commenting. All of those things start happening, and it starts building your business for you because they're talking. So this right here is my two areas. When I worked in solar, I opened the market in New Jersey, in South Jersey. These are my two areas that I worked for 2 years. These are 2 years of work, and I stayed in that neighborhood alone, knocking doors. You can see there's not a lot of houses, but anything that you see in green is a sale, is an install. Anything that you see in yellow is a account that moved forward. So between these two neighborhoods, one in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, one in Willingboro, New Jersey, between these two neighborhoods and referrals that I got from there, I got about 200 installs in New Jersey in the 2 years I was there, which at an average of roughly about $4,000 an install, roughly $4,000 to $5,000 an install. It was a pretty penny. So, and all I did was stick to my hood. I stayed put. Now, in the business we're in, staying put shows you the behavior. Again, understanding the principle, understanding that how you will use that principle of staying put in IML will let you know, will help you build your brand, build your network, build your people. Now, with my business, it's called P.D.A. P.D.A. is a way for us to track and take notes on every door that we knock and everybody that we talk to. So I teach my guys to take good notes, copious notes, smart notes. So you by now should have a spreadsheet of people that you talk to, or a notebook. A spreadsheet would be smart because that way you can see how many touches you have on an individual. So understand you need to have a lot of touches. A lot of people will give up on touches. A lot of salespeople actually give up on touches. It takes 6 touches on average for somebody to buy. You know how much I've been watching Christian for the last 2 years? I've been watching Christian for the last 2 years. I've been busy. I've been busy with my business, with what I do, but I've been watching what he does. It's been touches. So his social media and what he does and what we send texts every once in a while, and it was touches. So a lot in your spreadsheet, you should have some type of way that you can track how and who you talk to, what initial that you invite them to the webinar, that you send them a text, that you call them, what day you call them, that type of information, and have notes, guys. Keep notes. That way you know what information was shared the first time you talk to them, so you can then go back to those notes and refer back if you go, if it cycles back eventually, because most people are not going to buy on the first touch. They're just not going to. It'll take a while. Christian, we've been talking to Isaili, my friend Isaili, who I grew up with, who's one of my really best friends since I grew up with. We grew up together in church. I've known her 23 years. I've known Isaili. Isaili, I mentioned it to her that I was going to go meet with Christian in Puerto Rico. I had dinner with her, and I mentioned it that I was going to go to Miami. I sent her a text, and then she said, yeah, give me information. I sent her a little bit more information, and then she said, okay, let's meet. She met with Christian when? Yesterday, last night. It took 4 touches for me to get Isaili to move to meet with Christian. That's one of my really good friends. To get to that point, it took a few touches. So you need to be able to track the people you talk to. Don't leave it ever leave it to memory. Do not, and I repeat, do not leave it to memory. Keep it on your phone, keep it on your calendar, have a notebook, have a spreadsheet, something that helps you remind yourself of what the conversation was and where you are at with that individual. By keeping notes, it also helps you. You want to set reminders on your phone on when you want to follow up with this person, and you keep track of everybody that you talk to. So eventually, we're going to give you some homework so you guys can then start something like this. This right here, if you've ever read, when it comes to the 21 laws of irrefutable leadership, it's pretty much a Bible when it comes to anything to do with leadership and sales. The first one of the laws is the law of the Big Mo. And the law of the Big Mo states that it takes a lot of power to move a train, but once a train is moving, you get out of the way, because it'll be really difficult to move it or to stop it. So with good prospecting, create huge momentum. With this, you can see that in my calendar, I knew exactly what's going to happen with each one of my accounts, where they were at, when we were meeting, what was happening with it, where they was moving to, what step it was on. I knew who was doing what at what time and when they were going to be met with. I knew it all. I'm my hoods. I knew it all. So once you create momentum and it's moving, it just happens. It just grows, and it keeps growing and growing. It's very, very powerful when you do not cheat the prospect. When you do it correctly and you start prospecting correctly, you're doing it right from the beginning. You're not just throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks. You're doing it with a purpose. You're starting with the end in mind. And again, when you know how to do that, and again, from another book, 7 Laws, you start with the end in mind, understanding that you know where you want to go to. So you want to start with that. But for that, you need to have the right principles in mind and create and start prospecting the right way. Most people, guys, honestly, they give up. They just give up, because prospecting is not easy. Prospecting is hard. Prospecting requires you working, requires you observing, taking good notes, paying attention to what people tell you, paying attention, listening, actually telling you where they are in life. Because maybe one time you're going to pitch to somebody or tell them something about the opportunity, and it's not their turn. It's not the right time for them to do it. It's not the right time for them to pull the trigger. I talked to a friend of mine today. They're just not in a position in order to pay attention to anything else. They just moved. They're struggling a little bit with cash. It's difficult for them. I still give them the information, but it's probably bad timing. But by keeping good notes and not giving up, you can go back to those people that you talked to at the beginning, and you talked to, and you addressed from the get-go, and that way you're prospecting, and you can move through the sales cycle. You can move through this. You can move from prospecting to qualifying, which we'll talk about next time. You can move from there to then qualifying and pitching the opportunity when you have created a list of people, created the people that you want to go after. So one of the things that you want to do as well in your business is always wear your brand. If you see this right here, and I'm not wearing this for the call. This right here, it says BS. This is Vivint Solar. This is what I do. My business, VSLR. I do solar. I'm wearing my brand. This shirt right here, this is a Vivint Solar shirt. I wore it to the gym. When I was in Puerto Rico, what was my swimsuit, Mr. Chris? What was I wearing?
Fue el que yo te dije que quería que me regalaras porque era el color chinita.
Yeah, I was wearing a Vivint swimsuit. Guys, I wear my brand everywhere. I wear my company brand everywhere because it shows loyalty, number one, to me or to myself, and then people see it. They're like, hey, they see brand, okay? I want you to think of marketing, okay? If you know the laws of marketing, in marketing, the number one law of marketing is the more familiar people are with your product and services, the more apt they are to buy. And they need to be familiar with what you do. They need to know it. And they're not going to know it by you. It's not going to be just you talking. It's going to be you living a lifestyle, you wearing your brand. And I'm assuming that, and I mean, if you were at the conference, they have a store, they have brands, they have shirts, they have hats, they have all these things that you can wear, and you should wear them. You should have them on you, and you should live a lifestyle that shows what you do on a daily. And if it's a hobby, then it kind of makes it a little bit difficult. But understanding your brand and knowing what you do will show your prospects who you are and what you do and what you represent. Okay. If you know any of my mentors, if you know Jeffrey or anybody that does Vivint, all we do is wear our brand. We wear freaking Vivint everywhere. The company has done a really good job of branding. They've done a really good job branding cool stuff. So we have it all when it comes to our shirts and shorts. And I got socks. I got hats galore. I got it all pretty much. But people will see those things, and then eventually they'll ask questions. Eventually they will ask, what is it that you do? So what is that? And there's a conversation. There's a warm contact. Right away, you jump into it. So they're opening the door for you so you can then hit them with what you do. There's a reason why Christian does the webinars from Puerto Rico and from the beach. There's a reason for that. There's marketing behind that. There's marketing behind that. People need to see it. They see a lifestyle. They see it, and it piques their attention. It usually makes it for an easier close when they see those things. But again, if you don't prospect correctly, if you don't get the right people in front of you, or you don't get in front of the right people, then it's just going to make it a lot harder for you. So first thing I would do, and I do this on a daily, I do this every time I need to recruit, when I teach anybody how to recruit, which in my business we recruit, is what we do. You make a list. Make a list of 100 people. Sit down and make a list of 100 people you want to talk to, that you would think that this will be a good opportunity based on their lifestyle, based on where they are in life, based on what you know, the money and the conversations you've had with them in the past, based on what you would like them to do, maybe how strongly you feel towards them. Whatever it is, make a list of 100 people. Now, out of those 100 people, you're going to start prioritizing to see who you're going to contact first. In that list, I want you to pick the top 10 people that I want you to, we call those the chicken list or the chicken list in our prospect list. Those are the hard ones. The ones that we think are, I don't know, too sophisticated. There'll be a harder sale. There'll be a much difficult person to maybe approach that you might need help. And you want to talk to your mentor, want to talk to whoever you're with to help you get a good pitch so you can get that person listening and watching the webinar. Getting them in front of the information, but you first need to get your list. Make your list. That's your homework. Your homework is for prospecting is make your list of who do you want to go after and present this, and then put it on a spreadsheet. Put that on your spreadsheet. Create something that you can follow. And I would say your column should have how many touches, how many times you talk to the person, what they've seen, if they've seen the seminar, the webinar, if you send them the link, if they signed up, and where they're at, and then notes. Create that. That way you can follow up with the person as you talk to them. Then this is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That way you can prospect the right way. But I will tell you the same thing my mentor told me. Do not cheat the prospect. Don't cheat it. Don't think you can jump to the next step before you know who you want to talk to. Because if not, I mean, yeah, eventually you're going to talk to anybody all the time. But the reality is, Christian's been doing this for 4 years now. Christian has the lifestyle. Christian has it. He's done it. He knows how to talk. He knows how to, he can share certain things in his lifestyle with people all the time, anywhere. We don't have that. So some of us just don't have it yet. So we want to talk to the people that we want to address first. Those are more warmer contacts, and then utilize the right way of presenting. So then you can move to the next step, which will be qualifying them presenting. So with that being said, I gave you a ton of information. I've been talking a lot. It's been 40 minutes of me talking, and I'm getting dry mouth. So any questions? What questions do you have for me?
So you said to practice your pitch with somebody after you make your list.
Oh, heck yeah. There should be within your teams, there has to be role playing. There has to be. I mean, and honestly,
Okay.
Me on my side, I don't know the pitch yet. I'm going off of just excitement. And my friends know me, you know, they know I've done business and I do businesses. And when I go to my friends, they know that I'm not pitching them crap. They know that hey, I want you to listen to this. Tell me what you think. Because the people that I've talked to so far are fairly sophisticated business owners, people that are, they're entrepreneurs, they got money, they know how to do it, they've done businesses before. And they know me for many, many years. So when I come to them, I'm coming to them from a different angle. But I know that I'm going to have to perfect my pitch to then be able to talk to, you know, anybody that I want to. But you want to make sure that you practice your pitch with somebody, with whoever signed you, with who you're with. You want to maybe do it in a form like this one. There has to be, and I know eventually when we get to, we're presenting will be huge, because I've talked to Christian, and Christian has told me how he's had role plays, and like he talks to people and he's been there when they pitch it and they completely just shoot it and they just shoot themselves in the foot. But it's to be expected. That's what's going to happen. You're going to drop the ball a bunch at the beginning. And that's the reason why creating that list of prospects will give you an idea of the people you're going to go through. Because maybe at the beginning, I already pitched somebody that I love very much. We've been friends 29 years. My really good friend, Javi. I love the guy. He's like my brother. I know I already screwed the pooch on that one because I didn't know exactly what I was pitching. So I was and I'm still kind of like massaging it to see if I can have him just to join the webinar. But I know I screwed the pooch on that one already. You're going to screw up a bunch. It's going to happen. So get used to it. It's going to be part of the business, part of the deal. But that's why creating a good prospecting list will help you. But yes, you want to practice.
So people will tell you no if you did not leverage properly. Remember that this business, you're in business for yourself, but you're never in business by yourself. You guys literally have the creators of iMarkets Live in your fingertips. Y'all can give me a call. And if you get me on the phone with somebody, people are not going to tell me no because they're going to see it differently from a different perspective. So if somebody's telling you no, it means that you're going in for the pitch without leveraging it to somebody else. You guys should always be the advocate to the customer, which means you're supposed to just make them feel good, give them the warm fuzzies, sell yourselves, let them know that you're doing something different that is pretty new that not a lot of people know about, but you're not an expert yet. You're still a student. I see too many people saying, yeah, I'm a trader, yeah, I'm an investor. And then when they ask you, oh, really? Well, how much have you made? Let me see, your withdrawals. Let me see this and that. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot because you're stuck. You don't have any more leverage after that. So tell them you're not an investor, you're a student. You're going to get them on the call with me, and they're not going to tell me.
Guys, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing exactly that. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All I'm doing is saying, you need to talk to my friend. He's done this for 4 years. The company started in his living room. He knows what he's talking about. And you need to watch, at least take the information. I always tell my guys, go in it with the 80-20 rule, the 80-20%, 80-20. 80% of the people are going to say no, and it is what it is. It's the reality. When you have that as your mentality and you know they're going to say no already, then the 20% of the people you're going to focus on. Eventually, you will find and you will see that your numbers will get better. Your percentages will get much better. You'll get to a point that you're so good that your percentages could be 60-40, 70-30 or so. But guess who people are saying no to? They're saying no to Christian as well. He might be baller, but they're saying no to him for sure. Not everybody says yes. Not everybody says yes. They're going through it and just going through it. And when you know what I do? I knock doors. I get insulted. Like people insult me. Well, not much in Utah because they're super nice here. But in Jersey and in New York, I'm telling you, it was like to my face. And I would take a note on my device and I would go back to those people again and again. And like I know last time I talked to you, it wasn't good timing or what have you. And I went right back to it. I sold many people that said no to me aggressively at the beginning. But all that could never be done if I didn't prospect right. So take a note, kind of like what the situation was, what you did wrong maybe on that spreadsheet I talked to you about. Create something like that. Keep good notes, copious notes, and then you know that next time you present it, maybe you're in a different level, you're making more money, you've made a career out of it, and it's better, you're in a better, different situation. At that point, you can present it in a different way. Easy, simple. What other questions do you guys have? Are there more? I don't know if there's any.
I just wanted to follow up on that. It's Mike. What's up, guys? But I just wanted to say one thing about specifically with IML. It's funny when you hear Rico and even from Vargas and what they've had to sell in the past and stuff, and anything, right? Our product is a skill set that makes people money. If you really stop and think about that for a second, it's not so much about closing anymore. It's just about expressing the information at the right way that they can get what is actually happening. It's not, to me, I think it's the belief of what we have here, because the belief of actually people getting a generational skill set is something that if they say no, they didn't hear that. They didn't see what you just said to them. And it comes through that very meticulous explanation of things. This is a generational skill set. Trading has been around since sticks and stones. You think about it that way, right? Understanding supply and demand. I used this example not a little while ago on another call, that you think about like Air Jordans, right? Everybody knows Michael Jordan, and he has like very, very, high-end shoe brand, right? If he makes a special edition shoe, the reason why it's special edition is because there's a limited supply. So what does that do to demand? Goes through the roof. makes it through price, right? Well, that's just something about trading. That's trading. And understanding that to a T, even to be able to make money, that's a skill set that anybody will want to grab onto and be able to take away with. So just always remember that you don't have to close, because hopefully everybody that's listening to this, your belief of what is happening here is so much bigger than just, this little sandbox. This is something way bigger. So you guys, even me, all of us, we're blessed to have this very, very specific thing that we're marketing. You're not selling potions or, lawnmowers or anything else. That is incredible. So that's all I wanted to add.
I want to piggyback on that as well. That's actually how I'm pitching it. I'm pitching, this is something you're going to need for a long time. This is not, you're always going to need this. I mean, I'm not selling you no magic pill or some little juice. I'm not doing that. This is a skill you're going to use from now on. So it makes it easier for me, but also understanding what no means is also important. So when you understand that no just means a request for more information, and when you start processing it that way, no doesn't mean no. It just means no at that very moment, on that very day, for that very person at that moment. It's not no. It's just, hey, eventually I'm going to say yes, but not now. I just need more information. Give me more information so I then know how to say yes. Because you need to pitch it different. And that means that you have to, again, adjust. And it might not be the right time. So just get used to the no's as just part of the deal. And you'll get better at this. You get better at this, better at this, better at this. But having good prospects and prospecting correctly, giving good notes, I tell you, will take you so long. So what other questions do you guys have?
Okay, well, my question is after your 6 attempts, say I know that's what you recommended, how long would you say you have to keep trying at a person before you finally say, you know what, I'm going to stop here, I'm going to move on, and say they're really interested, but they're giving you the roundabout, because that's currently what's happening to me with a handful of people.
Yeah.
These are long-term people, These are people that have been giving me this for months. And I'm like, I'm about ready to just say, forget it or move on. But what would you say?
That I would say keep them on hold, and still touch them, but not directly. There's ways to go about it. Like for me, in my business in particular, I'll tell you a story. I pitched this guy. He's a professor in Princeton. Huge house in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Big, very smart, very, very well put together. The guy was brilliant in mind. When I first knocked on his door, he was the class A douche. And I mean huge douche. Treated me like I was trash. And he told me all the stuff that he knew, blah, 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 blah. He's trying to tell me all this of my business either way. But he treated me like crap, and I didn't care. I went back, I sold his neighbor next to him, and his other neighbor next to him, and his neighbor in front of him. And then I went back to him, and his wife had some questions. And again, they were really rude. I couldn't close them. I didn't move forward. Nothing happened there. I kept going by the house all the time. I waved at him. I said hello. His neighbors. I sent texts to his neighbors because his neighbors were happy. They were really happy with the business. They're happy with their solar. They were saving money, and so I had their neighbors touch them for me. Meaning, like, hey, mention to your neighbor. I remember he was, because they all get together and they have wine or whatever and talk, and they mentioned my name. It took a year and a half, and one day I was walking by the house. And he treated me like I completely ignored him anyways, because he was so rude to me that I just got to the point that, like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore you because I sold you neighbors. I don't care about you anymore anyways. I was walking by his house on a Saturday around 3 in the afternoon. And I was there. There's a fireworks show that I was going to go to. And I was kind of in a hurry to go to that. I needed to get ready for it. And I was walking by his house and he's like, yo, solar guy, come over here. I'm like, okay, like, it's kind of also to understand, for a Princeton professor to say, yo, solar guy, it's weird. But either way, he caused me to come over, and I was like skeptical. I went over there. talked to him. He's like, you know what? I know that I treated you really bad the first time. I just had some idea. I thought certain things. I've talked to my neighbors now. I want to get this done. What do I have to do? He came to me. His neighbors did it for me pretty much. I just kept touch with him and he was all good. It was the easiest. Like I made like $6,000 on that deal. Easiest $6,000 that I made. It was easy, simple. The suggestion I would give you is kind of keep them on hold, have them on your list, and just make little touches. Like whatever it is that you do, and the progress on your business, just keep sending them. Like when you see them, and I'm assuming you get to see these people because they're closer to you. Just drop a line. You don't need to be aggressive or like pitching all the time. Just they will see it based on your lifestyle, based on what you do, based on your postings. All of that, they'll see that you're still active, and they'll come to you eventually. And know that not everybody's going to be sold, guys. It's 100% closing ratio is an impossibility. So just know that it is what it is, and you can move forward to the next. Does that answer your question?
Okay, that helps a lot. Yeah, that helps a lot because I think that's what I was doing it wrong a little bit. I was kind of being too overly aggressive at every time that I talked to them or messaged them. I was being like, oh, hey, check this out, or look at this, look at what IML has to offer, or, and it was just like they didn't want to listen. And so I thought, you know what, maybe I should just back off a little bit and just keep them on the sideline. So I think that actually helps, answers my question a lot, actually.
Yeah, we call that in my business, in anything in sales, we call that sales breath. When you're so desperate that your breath stinks like a sale, people smell it. So it happens. Just try not to do it. Do your best not to do it.
Well, it's a good thing I brush every day because. But yeah, that helps. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Pleasure. Guys, understand, if there's one thing you need to understand, this is marketing. And marketing takes a lot of different ways, a lot of different aspects to marketing. And I want to give you examples so you kind of understand the marketing piece of it on what a touch, because I know there's a question about what a touch is. Think about Coca-Cola, how Coca-Cola markets their product. When Coca-Cola markets, or you see any commercial from Coca-Cola, do you ever see the price point? You never see the price point. You never see the size. You never see how much you're selling it for. They're selling you an idea, a lifestyle, a refreshing, hey, there's a shirt, what's up? So they're selling you, they're marketing an idea. They're marketing that is refreshing when it's not. It's horrible for you. It'll kill you. But either way, that's what they're doing. They're marketing that for you. And then you go and you see it. Same with McDonald's. These brands, they're just bombarding you with brand. And that's what you want to wear your brand. That's what you want to have it. You're going to put it all over your social media. You want to see people need to see the brand on you. You need to become the brand. And eventually, you touch them so many times, somewhere or another, that they will come to you. And that opportunity will open itself, and there it is. There's a warm contact, somebody you can close easily. Some you're going to have to work for, others just come to you. But it's just the idea of what marketing is. And that's why you kind of keep good notes. Good notes, do your prospecting correctly, so then you can move to the next step.
Thank you guys for all of that feedback. I want to share something too. At the end of the day, we're traders, right? We're traders that, for me, it's the easiest way to market. One perfect example, I'm going to go ahead and have one of my best friends, one of my biggest students who has really mastered the art of trading, just so he can show you that, for a whole year, he wasn't recruiting, he wasn't trying to talk to anybody, he wasn't pitching, he wasn't doing any of that. He was just a product of the product. And once you guys become so much of a product of the product that people just know that you're making it because of trading, they're going to come to you. Sanjay, if you're on this call, brother, unmute yourself real quick. I want people to hear your story on, how trading was at the very beginning, the ups and downs that you had through it, and now the success that you're starting to have with people coming to you asking you, how can I get involved, because you became a product of the product. Sanjay, he's somebody who I look up to so much because his level of discipline. I mean, this guy, one thing y'all should all do too, and we did this at a different call, I had him share his actual screen and show his trading plan, because every single trade that he enters, he knows exactly why he got into it. He knows exactly how many pips he was trying to catch on that trade. He knows exactly what happened. Did it hit stop loss, take profit, every single time. So this is what turned him into a beast trader, by simply keeping track of his business. In the same way that you guys should be keeping track of your business when it comes to network marketing and getting people to convert into customers, you have to have a log. Okay, you have to track it. Treat this like a business. Don't treat this like a hobby. Treat it like an actual business. Have a log, track it, because anything that you track, you can scale. If you don't track your business, you can't scale. You can't grow anymore, because you don't know your numbers. You don't know where you're at. Every single day, you should know your numbers. You should go into your back office. If you are building the business, you should know exactly how much volume you have in each one of your legs. You should know exactly how much volume you need. You should know exactly how much volume each one of your team members needs. And you should do this on a daily basis. It's just called tracking your business. Just in the same way you track how many people you've talked to, when the last time you talked to them was, and when a follow-up date is going to be, do the same for your trades. Sanjay did not have any intentions on building the business. He doesn't come from background in sales like I do. And it's not that he doesn't like it. He just didn't really know what to say, how to say it, and who to say it to. But because he took the time to become a product of the product, with this particular industry, guys, you guys have such a huge advantage of not knowing a thing about sales and being able to close anybody because of what you know from trading. But just showing your results, guys. When people ask me all the time, what is it that you do? I simply just pull up my MetaTrader 4. I'm not scared to show them, because I know what I'm doing. I'm skilled in my craft. I've taken the time to sharpen my sword, and every single day I'm fresh. So every single day, I want to share it with people. I want to just show people the possibilities. Hey, you know what? This week I made $3,000 just chilling by the pool. That's something that, I mean, what do you have to say to that? Nothing. At that point, anybody should be like, how? Like, teach me, put me on. I want to know. So being a product of the product, especially with iMarkets Live, guys, you have it so much easier. JC as well. JC's out in Canada. And JC, again, he doesn't come from a background in sales. JC, my brother, what's going on? He just knows how to trade. Mike is one of my best friends, business partners. He's the one that's out here in Puerto Rico with me, just growing the market. And I want you to hear from him, because I promise you, nobody really ever tells him anything after he shows him his account and how much he makes. Not that, I want you guys to like flash results or anything like that, but when you make $50,000 in a week, I mean, you don't really have to know much about sales. So Mike.
What's up, man? What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? What's the topic at hand?
Just, how it is that you get people's attention when they ask you what you do.
That's actually a really good question. So when someone asks me what I do, I actually like to ask them, more importantly, what is it that they're looking for in their lives? I think whenever someone asks me a question, I like to kind of flip it back on them with a question, right? Because we all know everyone's looking to make money. Ultimately, that's kind of a no-brainer. But the most important thing is why, right? Why are you looking to make money? What's the purpose behind your money? So when you go aside from the usual conversation of like, oh, I do this, I'm in this network marketing company, or this is what I do for my life, ultimately, they've had that conversation again and again and again. So for me, it's like, I want to stand out. I want to be able to connect with this person. I want to go to a new level fast with this person, because for me, I don't like to have small talk conversations. I like to have conversations with depth. I like to know the person, see what they're into, or you could even go through their page. That's what their Instagram's for. It's a highlight of what they like, what they're about. So I ultimately do my homework, see what they like, see what they're all about, and then go from there. So when I can understand what they look for in their lives or what their deficiencies are, then you can go to the next level. Because when someone's telling you, well, I like to make music, but I'm working, at a restaurant right now because I want to fund so I can buy my next, my next keyboard or my next synth or my next guitar or whatever. Cool. Now you know where you can come from, and now you kind of understand that so I'm a trader. So what I do is I understood that if I keep doing what I'm doing, what I was doing in the past, it wasn't going to get me anywhere. I wasn't going to be able to grow. So this gave me an opportunity with no ceiling, right? There was no limitations to what I can do. And it's directly correlated to the amount of work and the amount of time I put into what I want. So if someone who's made music, you understand, you come from the moment where you didn't know anything. You know that you wanted to make music. That's the only thing you knew. So you have to come from a point they've been before. So when you can correlate making music to making money in this market. It's the same thing. You're coming from a place of growth, a place where you knew nothing, but little by little, you started to understand more and more and more. But this time, when you're making music, it's a free-for-all. You really don't know where you're coming from. But with this, you have the setup, you have the academy, you have the live mentorship. You get to learn from people who have what you want. And then you can tie it back. Like, imagine learning from the best producers in the world. If the best producers in the world were just showing you directly how to input and output things, then you would definitely want to do something like that. So this is just the vehicle to do that. This is the plug and play for your dreams. So that's essentially where I come from. I want to understand the person, see what they want, see what they desire, see what their motivation is, and not even their motivation, see where their dedication lies. Because if you can tap into that, then you can tap into anything they want. So that's where I come from. I never ever talk about money, because ultimately people are looking for culture, people are looking for a place to grow with, a place to have more opportunities. So that's kind of where I come from. Just get to the real, stop the cookie cutter bullshit. Like, that's just not the way I do it. I have people even within the company. I get messages all the time, and it's like right away. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm in the same thing as you. You know, you kind of want to come from a different angle, especially with if you're doing like Instagram marketing. There's so many people doing network marketing and doing different projects, so you need to stand out. You need to not be like the rest. So focus on just being your authentic self, coming from a place of true understanding and love, and I think that takes you to really where you want to go, because now it's from the moment your intention isn't the sale. Your intention is, how do I impact this person? Because when you come from that position, then everything you're doing is authentic and genuine, and you're not focused on, I need to close this person so I hit a rank. You're focused on, how do I help this person to get to where they want to be? How can I be the catalyst for them? So that's kind of where I come from.
Yep. And I mean, that just shows you how humble this man is, because I mean, this is coming from a guy who literally makes people's yearly income in a week. So he doesn't ever even like flash that or anything like that. It's all about intention at the end of the day. If people see your intentions and they see that your intentions are pure, your intentions are to help them, you know, like Grant Cardone says, the distance between you and money is a problem. If you can get really good at solving problems, then you can make a lot of money. And we're solving the number 2 problems that every person has, is a lack of time and a lack of money. We're going to show them how they can have both of those through this platform, thus solving 99% of everybody's problems and helping them achieve more in life. So, you know, lead with the right intentions at all the time, guys, and don't focus so much on the actual like sales pitch. Just get to know people, sell yourself. Like, if you sell yourself, people are going to buy you over and over and over and over and over multiple different things, because they like you, they like your energies, they like the feelings that you give them. Remember, people don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel. So once you're gone, after you pitch them or whatever, if you were too, aggressive, if you were like arguing with them, or you were trying to like disprove them wrong, et cetera, you're going to transfer the bad feelings that they don't like. You're gonna leave, and they're gonna be like, man, that guy was kind of a douche, you know, like he was just telling me how he's right and I'm wrong. People don't like that. You know, you have to have that sense of just being genuine. And if you make them feel good, if you give them what we call in the sales industry, the warm fuzzies, where you just make them feel good because you made them laugh, you complimented them. I mean, compliments go a long way. If you compliment anybody, it will release endorphins in their brains, and they would actually feel good. They'll smile. They'll feel better about themselves. They'll like you because you made them smile, and you're that much closer to the sales process, which is getting them to convert as a customers because they trust you, they like you, and you sold yourself to them as being genuine and somebody who just really wants to help them. So those are just simple tips I'm throwing out there. I'll go ahead and I'll pass it back to Heriberto so we can wrap it up, and we're gonna assign some homework for you guys too for the next week's module.
Yes. So next time we do a training, we're going to move to qualifying, and for sure we'll do like the first part of the pitch, because the qualifying part in this business is very little, but the pitch is important. So like I said, we repeat the homework I said earlier. Make your list. Pick your phone, get your social media, go through the people that a list of 100 people. It's a lot harder said than done. So a list of 100 people that you want to share this this new people, not the ones you already have, new people that you want to share this this opportunity with, and I want you to then go through and get categories. A lot of people, they get stumped with what their list should be from. You're thinking of school, you're thinking of family, you're thinking of church, teams, your social media, of course. You start there and build your list. It's going to be a whole lot bigger than 100 for sure. A whole lot bigger than 100, but make it a goal to get to 100. And then from that 100, pick 10 out of those that are going to be part of your chicken list. Those are the hard ones. The ones that in your head, at least, they're difficult for you. And that's what you want to leverage those are your leadership, so they can help you overcome those limiting ideas that you have as to why those people are in your chicken list. Why would that be so difficult? They can help you through coming up with good verbiage, strong verbiage that you can then get them at least listening to what we're doing. So your homework is a list of 100 and the chicken list. The other is for you, and this is the thing that we talked about. And I want to thank Sanjay too, by the way, for sending that list out. That was freaking awesome. Thank you so much for that information.
Sanjay, by the way, if you're good to go, can you at least I didn't mean to interrupt, but can you at least just share a little bit of how you trade? Because I want you guys to see what really sells people. If somebody approaches you talking to you about, I'm a trader, and they show you what Sanjay is about to show you guys, I guarantee he's going to get your attention. You're going to be like, holy crap, this guy knows what he's doing. I need to learn from him. So
got my attention.
Sales experience, period. He'll sell you just on how he trades. So Sanjay, go ahead.
Thank you, brother. Heriberto, thank you for your nuggets on this call today, man. Honestly, I've been taking notes throughout, bro. It's been really useful. But yeah, I will touch quickly on what Chris is saying. So on the last call, I touched up on creating a trade journal and just kind of breaking this down in a way that helps you record your trades in the most effective way. So I'll just get up and share my screen real quick and just give you an example of how I record my trades. So here, for example, I've got a breakdown of the way I track my trades, from the pairs I take to the entries, risk reward ratios, what's happened in my trades, and so forth, basically. So it's a fantastic tool to just see your approach to the market and how that evolves. And obviously that's so key to being a trader. It differentiates you from 97% of retail traders who aren't profitable. One of those reasons is because they're not tracking how they're approaching the markets. Another way is just through Trello as well. So I document bear with me 1 second, yeah, so here we've got Trello. I don't know if you guys have heard about Trello, but it's a great way to visually just track your trades, see what's won, what's lost. For example, all I do is take screenshots before the trades, what's happened. For example, in this, orange was my entry, red's my stop loss, green is my take profit. And what happened, this one, for example, is a beautiful trade, just hit the take profit. But yeah, just keeping my charts as well, just touching up on that, quite clean. I do a lot of naked trading myself. I don't really use any kind of indicators as such. I trade purely on price action. And yeah, I just keep my confirmations in the markets as well. And yeah, it's just a good way that I touched up on a previous call, how to track your trades in an effective manner, and a good way to develop your skill set in trading.
You guys should all aspire to be like Sanjay when it comes to trading, because Sanjay, again, he wanted to take this serious as a profession, as we all should. And I know a lot of people who get into trades and they just kind of trade week by week by week, not really tracking their trades or knowing why they're getting into trades. Sometimes you're just getting into a trade because you got a signal from somebody else or because somebody else got into it. But if you're not tracking it, you're just gambling. You track your business, it makes you like 1,000 times more professional as a trader. And now when you tell people I'm a trader and you show them this, they're going to be like, yeah, you're a trader. Like, put me on. I want to know what you're doing. So thank you, Sanjay, for sharing. I really appreciate you for hopping on this call again. He's out there all the way from the UK. Can't wait to go out there and be with you, Sanjay. We're going to make big things happen all over London, and I'm really excited. And I'll go ahead and pass it back to my mentor, Rico, to close it off and give us some homework until next week's training module.
So the last thing is exactly what Sanjay was talking about. Just like your trades, you have to have a journal for your prospects. And that is on a daily. You're gonna be putting people on this list, and it'll get big, huge. That list is gonna be big, and eventually you will go back to that list and retouch people that you didn't talk to or couldn't get at the beginning, like the girl that asked earlier. You'll go back and recycle through that list, but the homework is get your list of 100, get your chicken list, and then get those people that are your leadership helping you with the pitch and helping you how to approach those people, and create a tracking list or some way that you can keep track of how much you're touching, like how like the steps. Are you following? Are you moving them through the sales and the close? So how many times you talk to them, notes, if they've watched the seminar, the webinar, if they've been to events, and if they sign up, and where they are at in their sign up, and then notes. Because then you're not just drive-by signing up, you're following up because you need to follow up. That's where the fortune is at. We'll keep repeating that one. But create a way to track it, guys, and know that this is stuff that you practice over and over and over and over again. It's not just going to happen from one day to the next, but having the right principles and then putting the work and the work behind it will give you the right results that we're going after. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, I will. I'll put my number out there. It doesn't matter to me. If you guys want to hit me up, you can. I'll put it on the chat. Makes it easier for y'all, so I don't have to keep repeating myself. But I'll put it out there. You guys can, if you want to call me or text me or whatever, hit me up and we can talk. And you can find me. I think I'm on Insta. I think it's Rico Rivera. It is, yeah. So you can hit me up with that too, and you can follow me there too, and we can talk further if you guys have any other questions that we can talk on the side. But next time we're going to talk about qualifying and then presenting. Presenting has 2 steps: presenting 1, presenting 2. So we'll go there. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Let's day.
Mr. Rico, for your time. As always, it's a pleasure to have you on these calls, and it's just a pleasure to be working with you. You don't know how excited I am. I've been waiting for this day.
My honor.
So lastly, guys, we're going to go ahead and start a book club, and we're going to assign a book to read on a month-to-month basis. After whoever wants to do the book club finishes it, we just need a book report to see what you guys took from it, what you understood from it, and we will be having incentives every single month, whether it's a team dinner or if it's a gift card to get your Audible for free for the whole month, whatever the case is. I want to help you guys get more in the habit of reading, because leaders are readers. And if that's one thing that Rico taught me since I was 12 years old, he was just always here, read this, read that. And I was like, okay, so reading really taught me a lot of psychology. It taught me a lot of myself. It taught me a lot about other people. It taught me a lot about how to communicate. It taught me a lot about how to socialize. It taught me a lot about how to navigate through difficult conversations. And one thing that I always hear back from people is that I can respond like on the spot. You ask me something, it's like already there, and it's because of all the books of knowledge of years of stuff that Rico threw my way. So I promise you, if you want to get good at just speaking to people, pick up a book and read more. We're going to start doing these with the first book being the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Everybody has until October 1st to get a physical copy, and then we're going to start reading that together as a team. I can't wait, guys. Thank everybody for your time. I love each and every single one of you guys, and I can't wait to come out to your respective cities, whether it's London, whether it's Canada, whether it's in Texas, which I'm going to be out there all of November. Chicago, I'm going to be out there first 2 weeks of October. Last 2 weeks of October, I'll be in Cali. So guys, get ready. Let's prep. Let's run. It's the fourth quarter of your year. Let's finish strong and let's hit everybody's goals. Love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your Saturday. I forget what day it is. And God bless.